Welcome in to News and Views with Tom Lamprecht. The stories you've heard and the ones you need to hear.
He is as they say, when he used to play ball, a worthy adversary.
I want America to be energy independent. I want America to be strong. I don't care about charming Europe and think you're one of them.
Israel is our ally, so to equate them with a terrorist organization, absolutely uncalled for.
Your life, your values, your voice. This is News and Views with Tom Lamprecht on Talk 96.3 and 103.7.
All right, welcome in. It is News and Views. Clark, Benny, and Tom, and we're waiting for an update from the Big Rock. Looks like the first 500-pound plus fish has been landed, brought in, and just weighed. What did it come in at 525?
521, I believe.
Okay.
What it said.
All right. We're
and the champagne and spirits is flowing on the Big Rock dock as I'm watching it
Liquid
on Facebook.
Courage they were talking about. Yeah. By the way, now it's interesting this boat came in because hurricane, or I guess it's tropical storm Bill, is some 200 miles off the U.S. coast. This is actually making national news. WITN is reporting on it for local weather, but it's making national news as well. And it was interesting. When I was coming in, I looked down to our south, and way in the distant horizon from Greenville, but certainly within our listening area, I saw this huge thunderhead. There is a severe thunderstorm watch in effect now through 7 o'clock tonight. Washington, Beaufort, Craven, Lenoir, Duplin, and counties east and south of that, there is a severe thunderstorm watch, which is not as strong as a warning, but beware. They're talking about hailstones up to an inch in diameter. The tornado risk, fortunately, is low, but wind gusts up to 60 miles an hour. So beware. It could get nasty out there tonight. Up where we are, our studios are in Greenville, not as likely to see severe weather here north, but here south, the southern part of our listening area, beware. So it is not a... Well, I guess it is official. 521. Is there anything else we got?
Yeah, 521.6. The boat is the natural.
And they are $800,000 plus richer.
Yeah, I think so, because that would be the first 500.
Mm-hmm. Lots to talk about again today. Interesting move by the Republicans up in the State House and State Senate. Republican lawmakers today unveiled an energy package which apparently has been in secret negotiations with Duke Energy for months now. Basically, what they want to do, what the Republicans are proposing, and I think this is pretty interesting. The greenies, the environmentalist wackos, as Rush used to call them, are all about eliminating coal. I mean, we heard G7, now China and Russia over there laughing at us. But G7, they all made a pledge that they're going to get rid of coal. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, that's those pledges usually mean that the United States liberals will be duped into doing it. Nobody else will. And China will be laughing at us, and India, and all those other countries that burn coal hand over fist. But here in the state of North Carolina, the Republicans are working on a deal to switch from coal to natural gas, which I think is an interesting end around because the governor has refused to let that new pipeline go forward. Right now, we're dependent on the Transco pipeline as our sole source of energy. And we talked about this last week. It's insufficient for any future expansion of our energy needs, whether it be residential or industrial. And I mean, if we're going to grow as a state, we need this new MVP Southgate pipeline, which the governor has just dragged his feet on. Of course, and as you've said numerous times, well, if you add Medicaid expansion to the pipeline, we'll go ahead and pass it.
Well, the environmental lobby in the Democrat Party is worth billions to any Democrat candidate, and that's what Roy Cooper's doing. Because Roy Cooper's smart enough to know that, well, really anywhere right now in the United States, you got a choice: coal or natural gas, period.
Right.
It's just what percentage of each one, unless you want to go all nuclear, because there is no other renewable source that's even possible.
Benny, we've got wind power, we've got solar power. Oh, you have little faith.
Every time somebody starts talking about that, and they virtue signal driving their Toyota Prius or their Tesla, I just say, hey, at least I'm burning something that's not, coming out of the ground in the form of coal and tearing down the mountains. Because you're driving a coal powered vehicle.
That's true.
Whether you know it or
You're
not.
right, because it's coal that's generating the electric that's
when you
charging your batteries.
When you stick that thing in that socket, where do you think it's coming from?
This is very clever by the Republicans up there, and they've thrown it into the court of Governor Cooper. Ultimately, they'll pass this deal, and it'll be but Cooper will veto it. He'll veto it. Question is, will they have enough votes to override the veto? One
of my contacts in Raleigh has just told me someone that I can reach out to and give us the skinny on this.
Well, so you can get them to call in?
I'll see what I can do.
All right, there you go. The skinny on this.
Yeah. That's a technical term.
In other news, Carolina Journal is reporting, and News and Observer picked up on this as well. North Carolina has over-collected more than $6 billion in state taxes when compared to May of 2020 economic forecast. In total, for the fiscal 2021 ending June 30th, North Carolina has collected $7.3 billion more than the state has budgeted to spend. This is unheard of. In modern day politics, for a government to spend less than they are taxing, it is rather incredible. And this is a testimony to what can happen when you have Republicans and conservatives in charge of the purse strings.
Pro-business, limited regulation, lower tax rates, increased tax revenue. We've seen it too many times.
Yeah. Isn't this interesting? Now, what did the naysayers say when Republicans wanted to come out, and they've done it over several times, and they're going to do it again now? The flat tax rate will now drop to 4.99% from, 5.25, somewhere about there.
That's right.
And when the Republicans started doing this a few years back, what did the Democrats say? Oh, we're going to go broke. You can't do this. This is good. This less revenue is irresponsible. There's no way we can continue to be productive. Guess what happens when you lower the tax rate? Productivity goes up. And right now, this is what's really unbelievably quick, is the number of businesses and individuals, especially up north, who have said, the you-know-what with the government that I've been sitting under up in New York and elsewhere, I'm getting out of here. I'm getting out of Dodge. And a lot of them are landing here in North Carolina. Please don't bring your politics with you.
I haven't drilled down in these numbers, but I was provided a report several weeks ago on some details, maybe last quarter. And I can tell you what's happening. North Carolina, during this time, North Carolinians were staying home like everyone was. And people were getting the heck out of cities like you're talking about and coming to North Carolina and spend. So I think we had a double dip of revenues with home-based people and people getting out of these blue cities where they don't respect the police, they don't respect the rule of law, and they do all this crazy stuff, and they're running businesses. There was a big article yesterday about your old stomping ground of Baltimore where the businesses have just had enough.
Oh, it's nuts. It is absolutely nuts. There's another story here in the pile down in Atlanta. There's a part of Atlanta, Bucktown, is that the name of it? Buckhead.
It's a really nice area of Atlanta.
And they want to secede from Atlanta. They want to say, we want our own city. And the reason why they're doing this down in Atlanta is because they are sick and tired of paying taxes for no services and no police protection. And, the talking heads, Mayor Bottoms down there, how appropriate. Mayor Bottoms down there says, well, they try to brand this as racist. It has nothing to do with race. It has everything to do with people simply want to live in safety. And Mayor Bottoms was one of the first pro defund the police. You know, when all that started under George Floyd, she was right there ready to blame the police. And you have had hundreds of police officers quit in Atlanta. And the folks down in Buckhead have just said, you know what, we're done. We're going to start our own city. It's going to go to a vote, but all the things have been set in motion to allow them to have their own city. And the Mayor Bottoms, comes out and said, well, this is not going to solve the crime problem. Well, it won't solve the crime.
She sure is not going to solve the crime problem.
Well, it's not going to solve the crime problem in Atlanta, but it'll solve the crime problem in Buckhead.
Yeah. I used to travel that area quite a bit, and Buckhead, extremely nice place. And the last time I went down there, I could see a change. I'm like, what is going on? You can just tell there was gangs in the area, just the way they acted, what they drove. You could tell it was drug-type money and shootings all the time. And people now, one of the nicest malls, in fact, it might have been one of the first large indoor malls in America, was the Lenox Mall down there. It's huge.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've ever been to it. I mean, it was a great place. Now, you don't dare go there. I mean, you go in the parking lot, there's murders in the parking lot. And this area, I think Buckhead has, they account for like 40% of the property tax base in all of Atlanta.
And again, they're coming at, oh, this is racist. This is racist. This is white supremacy gone awry. No, it's individuals wanting to be safe, wanting to be able to go to the store without getting shot. And this, believe it or not, CNN covered this story. And they cite a number of examples. A guy went to Home Depot, and here's shots outside. He calls 911, sticks his head out the door, and gets shot by a stray bullet.
Yeah, I think it might have been Tucker Carlson or someone last night. I just flipping channels, and I had to see the interview with the one of the leaders of this. I think his last name's White, maybe.
Yes.
He was talking about the
Bill White.
Yeah, the allocation of police resources for the Atlanta area to Buckhead, and he said Buckhead area-wise is the square mile area of San Francisco, and San Francisco has over 2,000 cops, and Buckhead has like 90.
Unbelievable. Anyway, this is not going to be good for Atlanta, but it's going to be good for Buckhead. All right, we have got a live update from down on the docks at the Big Rock tournament. Henry Hinton is on the line. Henry, you understand we have the first big check to give away.
All right, everybody. Congratulations to Natural. The Natural has just brought in a 521-pound fish. That's the first fish over 500 pounds. So that is the winner of the Fabulous Fish purse, which is 828,750 pounds. I got Curtis Strange here with me, Tom.
Hey, Curtis.
Curtis, when Curtis saw that fish come in, he's done a lot more offshore fishing than I have. You told me you thought that one was going to be bigger than 500.
Well, but it looked like a big captain. Quick story. The captain on his dad hasn't been get dad. I don't feel
Okay, well,
get to the dock now.
There we go.
That told you everything. There was a big fish, and more than likely it was going to go 500.
Well, that's a big, big win. And, the thing about it is Tom Bennett just announced that this fish not only wins $828,000, but it's now in first place. It could $5 million.
Wow.
A lot of years where
All right, we're having some audio problems, so we're going to have to cut that short. But big news from Big Rock. How about that? $5 million plus $800 for the first fish over 500 pounds.
I just suspect there's going to be some headaches tomorrow morning with the crew.
You think? You heard that hooting and hollering in the background there. I guess they're happy. Unbelievable. Anyway, getting back to this whole gas bill that the Republicans are putting forth, this would be a very strategic move to get the gas line in And the other big news up in Raleigh is this excess of tax funds that have come in, and again, what a success story for Republicans. And you got to go back to look. I don't know who the next U.S. senator is going to be, but you got to go back and acknowledge to Pat McCrory, who got this thing started with the help of a state legislature in the Senate and in the House on the same side as the governor. It's amazing what you can get done when you have the governor's mansion, you have the House, and you have the Senate.
Yeah, and you don't have a governor that's just cares about his future political career like Governor Cooper. I mean, he's going to do whatever the Democrat Party tells him to do on a national level. And when it comes to energy, they're going to follow whatever the Environmental Resource Group and the other lobbyists tell them to do.
And by the way, while Governor Cooper and Democrats saw the same numbers that Republican did with the excess in there, Cooper wants to spend it. He said, the Republicans want to give tax relief. And I'm fairly certain our Constitution does require that. We're not allowed to spend too much more than we're not allowed to hoard too much more than what we bring in. But Democrats, you got to remember, it's in a Democrat's eyes, it's not your money, it's their money.
Yep.
And they think that they're very kind to let you keep any of it.
Yep, he's got some slush funds in mind, and some of them probably in Nash County.
Hey, stay with us. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
And we're on location at one of my favorite places in the whole planet because this is some of the best food you're ever going to eat in your life. We are at Nino's on Red Banks Road in Greenville. It's one of my hangouts. It's one of the places that I love. I got my friend Pietro Passalacqua. How'd I do?
You did great.
Let's talk about the food. What makes this place? I know it's special Italian from authentic Italians, but tell us why it's so special.
Because everything we do, it's really what we came up on the menu from what we did at home, from my grandparents, my parents. So it's exactly what we eat at home, and that's the way we cook. That's why it's special.
And the atmosphere in this place is special also, from the bar to the two dining areas. You got two different dining areas, and now the weather's nice, so there's going to be a lot of folks that want to eat outside.
Yeah, we have two rooms. One room is designed a little different. We're also working on the patio to make it more attractive and more useful in the summer with a cocktail service. And we're always improving our services.
And, of course, my friends here, my buddy, Chef Massimo, who I love, and Sal and Pietro, you guys do a great job here. Not just Italian, but I had a great pork chop here the other night. You got great steaks, too.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we're also adding filet mignon in the future on our menu. And Massimo is coming out with a really good side dishes for it. And so we're really excited to come out with new meats and fish dishes.
All right, Nino's on Red Banks Road in Greenville. Same people that give you Marabello's and the great pizza that you get at Marabello's, but this is fine dining at Nino's. If you haven't been here, you don't know what you're missing. Come see them at Nino's on Red Banks Road. And Pietro, what is that famous saying about Nino's?
The food that you enjoy with people that you love.
Top Dog Academy is Eastern North Carolina's complete dog training facility. Top Dog provides an excellent environment for dogs of all ages with training services and work week daycare. Top Dog is located on Highway 43 South, just 4 miles from Bells Fork, and features a comfortable, healthy environment and a spacious facility for daycare and a brand new, beautiful facility for training. Call 752-8215 or visit TopDogOnline.com.
Come on out Highway 43 South to Top Dog Academy, where we know dogs.
Living easy is the sound of children laughing as you make memories with neighbors and friends. It's the sound of nothing at all. It's the smell of the salt air. Hear the waters against the marsh grass. See the beauty of our coast. Bow Coast, located in Beaufort, North Carolina.
It's not the Republican Party versus the Democrat Party.
Talking about what matters.
It's the Republican Party versus an organized crime syndicate.
On Talk 96.3 and 103.7. Here's Tom Lamprecht with more news and views.
Welcome back in. Interesting that we've got thunderstorms in the southern part of our listening area because 269 years ago, 1752, Ben Franklin flew a kite during a thunderstorm to prove that lightning and electricity are the same thing. And Mrs. Franklin said, Ben, come in and out of the rain. What are you doing out there? It is going to be some severe weather possibility, too, especially in the southern part of our listening area. So basically, if you look at pretty much Kinston south down to Wilmington, there's a good possibility that you're going to see some strong thunderstorms through about 7 o'clock tonight as Hurricane Bill makes his way north. Weather brought to you by our friends at the Ironwood Golf and Country Club, voted best golf course in Greenville 2 years in a row. Ironwood Golf and Country Club boasts an 18-hole Lee Trevino design course, full-service dining, outdoor pool, tennis, and more. Our newly renovated 15,000-square-foot clubhouse is the perfect place to make new traditions with your family. For a limited time, join the club and pay zero initiation fees. Call 252-752-4653. Find out what makes Greenville's best golf course, Ironwood, 2 years in a row. Be a part of the best Ironwood Golf and Country Club. Again, that number 252-752-4653. Seeing a lot of weddings taking place out in front of that beautiful plantation-style clubhouse. It is a pretty setting. WITN News is reporting that Beth Wood, the state auditor, her office has said that the former superintendent of the Nash Rocky Mount school system spent more than $45,000 in unallowed and questionable expenses. Dr. Shelton Jeffries resigned back in August of 2019, several months after a law firm hired by the school board investigated unauthorized purchases and improper use of district vehicles. Did he think if I quit, they will quit investigating? The audit said it uncovered several violations by the former superintendent. Jeffries improperly used his procurement card, which a credit card that they put and give to him. He abused it to the tune of $22,000. Oops. Oh, I just went over a little bit. Violated the school system travel policy to the amount of $19,362. Where did you go to? Oh, I need to fly over to Japan. He used the school system's vehicle for personal use, amounting to $3,015. He made $1,268 in fuel purchases and rented a vehicle even though he received a travel allowance. You want to take a wild guess at which party he was a member of?
Well, it must be something about the Democrats and Rocky Mount because, was it last year this time, was it a city council member that the state auditor's office found that...
was it Rocky Mount or was it Princeville?
No, I think it was Rocky Mount where...
the Princeville's had their share of issues.
Where they were writing off his utility bills of like $40,000 or $50,000 worth of utility bills. So
wow. In response to the audit, the school system has asked Jeffries to pay back $45,690 within 60 days, or they will report it to the district attorney for review. So does that mean they're not going to charge the guy if he pays it back?
Well, the state auditor has no criminal prosecution or any prosecutorial.
But that's the school system that asked for the money back, though. But they could.
All the state auditor do is just present evidence if the district attorney chooses to take it up, or the state attorney general's not going to do anything. But I mean, because guess what party he's from?
Yeah. So, well, listen. In defense of Democrats, Beth Wood is a Democrat.
Yeah.
Kudos. I mean, she is a tiger.
Yeah, I tell Beth that every 4 years she makes voting harder for me because I can't vote a straight ticket. I've known Beth for a long time. Beth does a super job.
Well, you need to call her up and tell her to come over from the dark side. Now, she doesn't have to go Republican. She can go independent or Libertarian. But
I think she has announced she will not be running again.
Is that right?
I think I've heard that.
I hope we get someone as straightforward as she is to deal with these issues.
Mr. Jeffrey should have taken advice that a wise businessman gave me years ago. Pigs get fat, hogs get slaughtered.
There you go.
Sounds like he was a hog.
The News and Observer is also reporting on a civil rights group and liberal organizations. They came out yesterday denouncing a group of bills advancing through the state Senate that would make changes to absentee voting. As you can imagine, and this is the News and Observer reporting this, so, the ACLU, Democracy North Carolina, and other groups called on lawmakers to reject Senate Bills 326, 724, 725 ahead of votes on the Senate floor, which would come as soon as this week. Now, these bills are all about election integrity, but as Democrats do, they've changed the narrative to make it sound like it's just racist disenfranchisement attached to all these bills. The bills are very simple. They don't disenfranchise anyone. They don't make it any harder to vote. And listen, voters out there, whether you're independent, whether you're libertarian, Republican, Democrat, you need to take some responsibility onto yourself, find out what the rules are, and follow the rules. It's that simple. And Democrats, it's as if you think that everybody in your party doesn't have the ability to follow the rules. And maybe they don't. I don't know. SB 326 simply changes the deadline that an absentee ballot must be received and counted by 5 p.m. on Election Day. What is hard about that? I mean, the whole idea behind an absentee ballot is, I just remembered, we're going to be on that cruise during Election Day. We need to vote early on absentee ballot. You do it ahead of time.
Yep.
That's the whole purpose behind it. And quite frankly, we ought to make it harder to get an absentee ballot.
I think it should only be for health reasons and military type issues.
I'd even say that if you want to go down and cast an absentee ballot, because I'll be a liberal in your eyes, Benny. I will say that I'm going to be out of town, or I should say out of state or out of the country. I'd even go that far, but you got to prove it. You got to show us some evidence that. Anyway,
what's more important, your constitutional responsibility as a voter or your vacation? I mean, really. I think if it's not health or if you're not in the military, I don't think you should.
I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to argue. I'm maybe I'm sounding too liberal. My wife might hit me over the head with a pan when I get home. SB 724 prescribes procedures to allow visually impaired voters to request an absentee ballot online. It also directs the State Board of Elections to establish an online voter registration platform for anyone who's eligible to register to vote. But again, look, if you're going to register to vote, you better prove that you're allowed to do that. And it also, this is what they don't like. They like those first two parts. The liberals don't like the last part. It would set up a program to provide individuals with photo identification who need it. And now, again, they're saying this is disenfranchisement. How in the world is this disenfranchisement? And again, as we talked to Kim Blackwell yesterday, this because what was the first thing they say? Oh, you're racist. In other words, they're saying, and who are the racists? We stop and think about who are the racists. These people are saying blacks don't have the ability or the intelligence or the fortitude to go out and get a photo ID if they don't already have one. 99% of them already have one. What kind of racist statement is that?
It's entirely racist. It's the only racist thing about it that involves this voting, but it's the talking points they have developed, and they give it to the media. I mean, the mainstream media just reads it off the same sheet of music, use the same words and phrases. I mean, it's amazing to me.
They don't even try to change the narrative.
I mean, you can watch 15 broadcasts.
And they're all saying the same thing.
And they're saying not
word for word, verbatim.
Paraphrasing exactly, word for word, verbatim.
Yeah, you
what's the chances of that?
You'd think somebody would earn a couple of extra bucks by going and rewriting it, just changing it a little bit. The third measure, SB 725, would prohibit election officials at the state and county levels from accepting nonprofit grants or other private funds to conduct elections. Now, remember, big tech.
Zuckbucks.
Yeah. Zuckerman put millions of dollars just in North Carolina and get out the vote measures directed to Democrats. It wasn't across the board. They were doing advertising that was directed to the people that they thought would vote in a liberal manner.
Speaking of Zuckerberg, did you hear what
Roger Waters?
What Roger Waters?
Yes, I did see that.
We can't use that word on the radio.
No, we can't. If you're not familiar, Roger Waters, boy, you're going to feel old. he is now 77 years old.
Wow, almost close to your age.
Yeah, a little further north than I am. He was a part of the Pink Floyd band back in the 70s.
Yeah,
and they did a song, "Another Brick in the Wall."
Yeah, they did that song in 1979, and I would imagine, as much as I hear that on various advertising platforms or whatever, they probably make a lot of money off that song.
Well, apparently, Mark Zuckerberg wanted to use that song in an ad for Instagram. And Waters, now I'm not necessarily agreeing with everything that Waters said. He is a pro-Julian Assange individual, and he is ticked at Facebook because he feels like they have not been fair to Julian Assange.
Well, whether you agree with him or not, he's right. Facebook and the other big tech, I mean, it's just censorship.
Oh, it is censorship, yeah. And if all they are is a platform, and again, look at some of the stuff they do allow from Iran and from other communist countries. That they'll let them have their say, but Julian Assange not so much. But anyway, this guy Roger Waters was offered apparently a large amount of money to use the song "Another Brick in the Wall" Part 2 for an Instagram ad, and Waters said, "You ain't no way." And he said, he added, "I only mention that because this is an insidious movement of them to take over absolutely everything. I will not be a party to this bull." And anyway, so they're not going to use the ad. He also called, I can't say what else he called him.
Called him an idiot, too.
And a few other things that...
I like to think Mr. Waters is a very principled guy, but he's probably made a boatload off that song, and he's probably just said, "Hey, I don't need the money."
I loved a lot of the music from the 70s. Pink Floyd wasn't one of my favorites, but yeah, it got a lot of play, and he made a lot of money off that. Hey, we're going to take another time out. When we get back, crazy Joe Biden is totally lost, and I don't know what he's trying to say. We'll try to decode it when we get back.
And we're on location at one of my favorite places in the whole planet because this is some of the best food you're ever going to eat in your life.
Break the chain. Eat local. Tiebreakers.
Hey, this is Hank Hinton back here at Full Service Flooring in Winterville. I'm here today with Corey Little, who's the operations manager here at Full Service Flooring. Corey's been here 6 months, but you've been in construction a long time. Tell us about what you do here at Full Service Flooring.
Yeah, I got over here about 6 months ago. I've been in construction for, like I said, a little over 20 years, and I've known Tim for a long time now, and he's brought me over here to see what new kind of things I can bring to the store and to our customers. And I'm in charge of scheduling, and I don't know what else. I'm in charge of everything. It seems like we work together as a team and try to pull it all together. I might do a measure one day and do a commercial floor the next day, but we just kind of all work together and pull it all together at one time.
So what's new in flooring? What is the hot new thing?
The hot new thing is LVP or LVT, depending on what you're looking for, which look you're looking for. It's a waterproof product. It's absolutely fantastic. You can't really beat it.
A lot cheaper than hardwoods?
It is definitely a cost-effective alternative to hardwoods, yes, sir.
So, Corey, how is business right now?
And business is good. Despite the pandemic, we're still seeing a lot of new customers in the store, and we get an opportunity to introduce our products in a lot of different situations right now.
Corey, you've got a lot of experience in the construction industry. How is that helping you here with people, helping people with flooring here at Full Service Flooring?
Sure. I try to take the experiences that I've gained over my time in construction to help apply that to the flooring, whether it be with what the structure is made out of, the subfloor that we're going over top of, or maybe even just how it coordinates with your kitchen cabinets in construction or in your bathroom and how the tub and everything all ties together.
And a customer can just come here and see you anytime?
Absolutely. We're here 6 days a week, and we just love to see a new customer in here anytime. They can always call us and schedule something with us so we can make sure we have our time allotted for them.
Corey, thank you so much. That's Corey Little here at Full Service Flooring. Come see these guys. They're on Tilco Drive in Winterville, 756-9308 and fullserviceflooring.com.
In North Carolina, we get up before the sun rises and stay up into the wee hours of the night. We believe in working hard and playing harder. Behind every meal, there's a farmer, and behind every farmer, there's got to be NC, the official state identity program for North Carolina agricultural products. Look for the Got to Be NC logo wherever you shop or eat, and you'll know you're getting.
This is your Drive at 5 and ENC with Tom Lamprecht. Welcome back to News and Views on Talk 96.3 and 103.7.
All right, we are back, and Joe Biden is still over there at the G7, the EU-U.S. summit, and he's going to meet with Putin tomorrow, I guess it is.
I'd like to be a fly on the wall.
She was. It's embarrassing. It's scary. And so anyway, they were at the EU-U.S. summit yesterday. Joe Biden, now we mentioned yesterday when he was at the G7, Boris Johnson was introducing everybody at the table, and he goes around the table and he introduces the president of South Africa. And right after he introduces the president of South Africa, Joe Biden, you missed the president of South Africa. And everybody just is sort of looking at him and laughing. I mean, you know, we're not laughing with you, we're laughing at you, Mr. President. And Johnson says, well, I just introduced him, Mr. President.
I bet Boris Johnson wishes he had a shot collar whenever Joe got out of line.
I bet Joe Biden's aides wish they had a shot collar on the
But,
guy.
you know, not that I can talk about someone's hairstyle, but how about Boris Johnson's hair?
Well, he makes Donald Trump look good with a hair issue.
I mean, it looks like a daggone punk rock band from Liverpool or something.
He's not all there.
Joe or Boris. This is Joe. This is cut one, guys. This is Joe from yesterday at the EU-U.S. summit.
And I've said it before, and I apologize to repeat. I didn't first saw you were joking on massive security advisor. I'm leaving out a lot of people here. I apologize. I'm going to get in trouble. But anyway, we'll get back to that. But there's a lot that is happening.
Good grief!
Now,
you having a good time, Joe?
What do you say?
Look,
keep up, Joe. Pay attention.
If you didn't hear all, he said, and I quote, and I've said before, and I apologize for the. I didn't know Jake Sullivan from the State Department was here or whatever. I'm leaving a lot of people out. I apologize. I'm going to get in trouble. But anyway, we'll get back to that. But then the other, and I'm sorry.
He really sounds like somebody that's
lost it.
No, it's like happy hour starts at 5 and it's about 6:30 with him. So.
Look, I'm sorry to be ugly, and I feel sorry for senile people, but Joe needs to go back to the home. And listen, the guy got 81 million votes. Yeah, right.
Yeah. What's really sad though is, his wife Jill Biden. Dr. Jill Biden.
Right, doctor. Just like Dr. Zeus.
That she would let him go through with this, let the Democrat Party go through with this, because if he's publicly like this, what in the heck is he like at home?
Oh, she knows perfectly well how bad he is.
Yeah.
She knows perfectly well how bad he is.
And this whole business about what he was playing with his dog in the bathroom and slipped down and twisted his ankle or something. I don't know. I ain't buying that.
So then there was a press conference, and a reporter gets up and asks Joe, this is cut two, guys, asks Joe if he thinks that Putin is guilty of killing individuals doing assassinations.
He called him a killer during the
he did.
campaign.
Yeah. Joe called him a killer in the campaign, and he asks, this reporter asks about that killer comment.
What do you say to Vladimir Putin?
To answer the first question, I'm laughing too. They actually, well, look, I mean, he has made clear that
I didn't edit this, by the way.
the answer is, I believe he has in the past essentially acknowledged that he was, there are certain things that he would do or did do. But look, when I was asked that question on air, I answered it honestly. But it's not much of a, I don't think it matters a whole lot in terms of this next meeting we're about to have. The second question was I'd verify first and then trust.
If Donald Trump were to give an answer like that, he would be crucified by the media. I mean, he can give a good answer, and they're still going to do it to him.
And the news media would purely edit his comments and have them on the national, mainstream media broadcast, and they just shuffle this under the rug, don't talk about it.
Nope.
But that's the international press is not going to be but so easy on them. They were pretty easy on Obama just because they were starstruck, just because how much a big deal everybody made about him. Somebody that's never done anything. But anyway,
now this next clip,
they're not going to give him a break.
Let's just compare the two. So Putin and Biden are going to get together for the summit. This is jump up to cut 4, guys. This is Russian President Putin, who was interviewed back on June the 11th by NBC. Putin was asked if his government assassinated political dissidents. Here's his answer.
Of course not. We don't have this kind of habit of assassinating anybody. That's one. Number 2 is, I want to ask you, did you order the assassination of the woman who walked into the Congress and who was shot and killed by a policeman? Do you know that 450 individuals were arrested after entering the Congress? And they didn't go there to steal a laptop. They came with political demands. 450 people have been detained. They're looking at jail time between 15 and 25 years, and they came to the Congress with political demands. Isn't that prosecution for political opinions?
Now, I play those 2 clips because they were basically both President Biden and Putin, President Putin of Russia, were essentially asked the same type of question. One was to Biden, you called him a killer. The other was to Putin is, are you a killer?
He said he didn't make habit of it. I mean,
well, Putin comes out and completely changes the narrative, immediately jumps on it, and it points the finger back to the United States, points the finger to what happened to this young woman, and we still don't know who the officer was that shot and killed her. Can you imagine if he had shot and killed a member of Black Lives Matter?
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. The guy would already be in prison. But I compare the 2 answers. The one is a drooling idiot, and the other, I'm not defending Putin, and I'm not saying he's innocent, but President Putin is going to have President Biden for lunch.
Oh yeah, Putin's a guy that former KGB officer. He vacations in the Ural Mountains riding a horse shirtless.
Yeah.
And, Joe's shuffling across the room, drinking his buttermilk and going to bed and hoping that he wakes up the next morning.
The question is, will he fall asleep in the middle of the Putin summit? And hopefully he won't be there talking about some young girl in the crowd who's 12 years old with her legs crossed. He says, doesn't she look like she's 21 or 19 or whatever he said?
That previous cut of Biden, he didn't say one single substantive word. Not one. Not really. Not one substantive word.
Not that I heard. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Your trade has never been worth more. Get paid to trade at Greenville Toyota. Sell us your old car for cash, up to 125% of book value. Or trade up to Camry, just $189 a month. Get paid to trade. Now at Greenville Toyota.
Anything could happen ever since I met you. Let me take you dancing.
Introducing Pepsi Mango.
Air Service is back at Pitt Greenville Airport, offering safe, clean facilities and flights from American Airlines. That means the short commute, quicker lines, and better prices that get you where you're going fast and easy. See it for yourself. There's great things inside at Pitt Greenville Airport.
Sawyer's Fun Park in Winterville is now open. With over 40,000 square feet of family fun, daily money-saving deals, and a full-service restaurant, Sawyer's Fun Park is guaranteed to have something the whole family will love. Test your ninja skills on our 2-story obstacle course or head over to one of our 5 rock walls and race your friends to the top. And when you've worked up an appetite in our laser tag arena or our one-of-a-kind ropes course, grab a table over at the restaurant and try our world-famous Southern Monster Fries. Reserve your spot today at SawyersFunPark.com and come join in on the fun.
My name is Dr. Neeti Armistead, Chief Medical Officer for Vidant Health. The following simple steps will help keep you and your community safe. Stay home as much as possible, wear a mask when out in public, avoid large gatherings, practice social distancing, and wash hands often. It's also important not to delay needed care. Vidant has taken important steps to provide you and your family with a safe environment. Learn more about COVID-19 and Vidant's response. Call 252-847-8000 or visit vidanthealth.com/COVID-19.
Acre Station Meat Farm, along with Lane Angus Beef, bring you Farm to Fork Beef.
Stock your freezers now with affordable beef boxes, just in time for the grilling season.
Farm to Fork Beef brings quality local beef to your family. From your traditional butcher shop, Acre Station Meat Farm. Come on down to Acre Station Meat Farm and find out why we're #1 in fresh cuts and friendly service.
Acre Station Meat Farm, Highway 32 North, Pinetown.
This one's for everyone who spends the amount of time it would take to watch a movie, agreeing on which movie to watch. You've compromised enough. Pepsi Zero Sugar.
Get paid to trade at Greenville Toyota. We'll pay you up to 125% of book value, even if you don't buy from us. Or trade up to Corolla, just $159 a month. Don't settle for less. Get more for your trade. Now at Greenville Toyota.
Air Service is back at Pitt Greenville Airport, offering safe, clean facilities and flights from American Airlines. That means
Father not only knows best.
You don't need the umbrella. Come on, let's go.
He knows all. But how?
500 feet. Turn right.
Turn that thing off. I know where I'm going.
Don't worry, Dad. We won't tell.
They were doing this at the Wuhan.
I told you it was China. Didn't I tell you it was China?
From one know-it-all to another.
Dad.
Yeah. I know.
Happy Father's Day. From News and Views on Talk 96.3 and 103.7.
I know the solution. Go ask your mother.
Boy, that little clip, that bumper Clark put together, that takes me back. Dad. That
for some reason that clip just reminded me of. Do you remember the Norman Rockwell painting of the father sliding down in his recliner, reading his paper on Sunday morning, and the wife and kids behind him going to church, and she had this look on his face? That just reminded me of that father, you know.
Oh boy, did I hear that? Dad, that's not fair. And I say,
yeah, I've heard that a few times.
It's not fair.
Life's not fair.
This is not a democracy. You do not have a vote. This is a dictatorship. Anyway, remember dear old Dad coming up this Sunday. Just a little fair warning. Terry McAuliffe, the guy who's running for governor of Virginia again, apparently doesn't think much of critical race theory criticism. In fact, he's come out and said it's a right-wing conspiracy involving Donald Trump and the GOP nominee for governor, Glenn Youngkin. Anyway, Youngkin comes out and says, well, I think we're digging into his lead, and he feels it. He knows it. But for Terry McAuliffe to come out, now he comes out and says, well, we just, that the issue is we need to raise teachers' pay. That's the issue. And some of these schools we have are 50 years old. We need to replace them with new schools. That's the issue that Virginians are carrying.
Terry McAuliffe, he's the old Clinton staffer,
Oh,
right?
yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So he sings off the Democrat
their
Party.
play sheet, yep. Big time. Interesting, though, talking about education. And of course, this is all happening up in Loudoun County, which is right out of D.C. A 15-year-old girl spoke out against a Virginia school board's plan to allow students to use restrooms and locker rooms that correspond with their chosen gender identity. Jolene Grover, 8th grader, attended Loudoun County Public Schools. She went to the board meeting last week, opposed the policy that would allow, for example, biological males who identify as females to use the girls' restrooms and locker rooms. Grover wore a T-shirt that read, "Women is female." The new proposed policy builds on a previous policy known as 1040. She said, and I quote, 2 years ago, I was told policy 1040 was just an umbrella philosophy, and you weren't going to allow boys into girls' locker rooms, but here you're doing just that, she said. Everyone knows what a boy is, even you. Your proposed policies are dangerous and rooted in sexism. When woke kids ask me if I was a lesbian or a trans boy because I cut my hair short, it should tell you these modern identities are superficial. She went on to say, boys are reading erotica in classrooms next to girls, and you want to give them access to girls' locker rooms, and you want to force girls to call those boys she. You will do this in the name of inclusivity while ignoring the girls who will pay the price. Your policies choose boys' wants over girls' needs. Boy, that is the little kid that says the emperor has no clothes.
She's a 15-year-old, right?
14.
14. Smart
14-year-old, yeah.
Smart kid.
And she looks at him and says, everybody knows what a girl is. Everybody knows what a boy is, including you, pointing to the board. Unbelievable. Hey, thanks for being with us. We'll do it again tomorrow at 5. See you.
In North Carolina, we get up before the sun rises and stay up into the wee hours of the night. We believe in working hard and playing harder. Behind every meal, there's a farmer, and behind every farmer, there's got to be NC, the official state identity program for North Carolina agricultural products. Look for the Got to Be NC logo wherever you shop or eat, and you'll know you're getting a quality product grown, raised, caught, or made in North Carolina.
We're on location at Fabric and Home Furnishings, and I'm back with my friend Lisa Pendry. And Lisa's been telling me about all the great renovations that have been going on here in the store, and I've been looking around, and it looks fantastic. Tell us what you've done here.
Well, we've knocked some walls down, we've painted, we've added some new vendors, lots of new exciting things going on. So we're making room for everybody to get what they need to transform their homes.
Looks fantastic in here. Last time we talked, you were saying that you were able to deliver a lot faster than most other furniture stores. Is that still the case?
It is. It's changed a little bit, but we're still looking at around 8 to 10 week delivery, and we do sell our floor samples right off the floor.
All right, we always say that Fabric and Home Furnishings is more than just a fabric store, so tell us what the more is all about. When people come in, what should they expect?
Well, we love to get to know our customers. I have the best crew I've ever had, and everybody on my team is an interior designer. So we offer in-home design service, which we always have, but now they can each come out to your home after they work with you in here, figure out what's going on in your residence or your commercial property to pull it together and help you make everything beautiful.
You got great folks here.
I do.
I can tell you, I haven't gotten to know them. It's like a family when you come in here, and everybody gets along well, and you can tell that these guys and gals really know what they're talking about when it comes to interior design.
They do, and that's really what makes us different. We offer complete in-home design service. We don't charge a by-the-hour fee. It's a flat one-time fee. We work with you in here, in your home, in your business, and help pull everything together.
All right, it's more than just a fabric store. Fabric and Home Furnishings in Arlington Village. Come see this lady. She's fantastic. Fabric and Home Furnishings. Come see the renovations here in Arlington Village. And thank you for the visit today.
Thank you, Henry.
All right, you got to come see what they've done in the store here on Arlington Boulevard in Arlington Village.